Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including Tesla's new solar vehicle option, multiple new software features, the Plaid Model S hitting a new top speed record, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla released their Q2 2022 production and delivery numbers. For the first time in a long time, they produced and delivered less cars than the previous quarter, and this is for some pretty obvious reasons. They produced 16,411 Model S's and X's and 242,169 Model 3s and Ys, for a total of 258,580 vehicles. For deliveries, they delivered 16,162 Model S's and X's and 238,533 Model 3s and Ys, for a total of 254,695 vehicles delivered. They said, quote, "In the second quarter, we produced over 258,000 vehicles and delivered over 254,000 vehicles despite ongoing supply chain challenges and factory shutdowns beyond our control. June 2022 was the highest vehicle production month in Tesla's history." Tesla's Giga Shanghai factory has been huge for their growing deliveries and production, but this past quarter, that factory was forced to shut down for a few weeks and ramp production back up from scratch. That, along with the supply chain challenges that Tesla mentioned, are the true reasons production and deliveries went down. But what they said in that last sentence is pretty big. June 2022 was the highest vehicle production month in Tesla's history. They aren't referring to deliveries here in some end-of-quarter push. They're referring to production, showing that they are fully back on track, and going forward, they should be back to growing each quarter. Year over year, they clearly still are. Tesla's financial results will be announced on July 20th, and their webcast will take place at 4:30 p.m. Central Time from Austin, Texas. Next up today, Tesla has released a few software updates that have a big impact for many owners. First, for vehicles with the Tesla Adaptive Suspension System, shipped in the Model S and X, quote, "Tesla Adaptive Suspension will now adjust ride height for an upcoming rough road section. This adjustment may occur at various locations, subject to availability, as the vehicle downloads rough road map data generated by Tesla vehicles. This is arriving in software version 2022.20 and is something that we've known Tesla could do for a while. So much data can be collected, and now rough road maps will be generated from Tesla vehicles so that everyone driving a Tesla can benefit by their car preemptively adjusting suspension for a rough patch of road. This can be activated in settings, and Tesla says, quote, "The instrument cluster will continue to indicate when the suspension is raised for comfort. To enable this feature, tap Controls, Suspension, Adaptive Suspension Dampening, and select the Comfort or Auto setting." This is great, but currently only limited to Tesla's more expensive vehicles. As we saw for deliveries, they're delivering way less of these cars. However, this rough road map that Tesla will be generated from fleet data could soon lead in a beneficial direction for any Tesla vehicle. One issue many notice with Autopilot or FSD is that the system lane keeps but won't avoid potholes. Many take over to avoid potholes, but soon this rough road map could get more complex so that the car knows of a pothole ahead of time and can steer to avoid it, assuming it's safe to do so. Data collecting like this is a big piece that I think people underestimate in Tesla's advantage, and it'll be interesting to watch this get better and better over time. In a similar vein, but directly regarding safety, Tesla has added another feature related to seatbelt tension. According to the Tesla owner's manual, quote, "The pre-tensioners automatically retract both the seatbelt anchor and the seatbelt webbing, reducing slack in both the lap and diagonal portions of the belt, resulting in reduced forward movement of the occupant." This is great, but with the same 2022.20 software update that is releasing now, Tesla is adding data from vehicle cameras to improve this. The release notes say this enhancement builds upon your vehicle's superior crash protection, based upon regulatory and industry standard crash testing, but using Tesla Vision to offer some of the most cutting-edge seatbelt pre-tensioner performance in the event of a frontal crash. Your seatbelt will now begin to tighten and protect properly restrained occupants earlier in a wider array of frontal crashes. The results of this are hard to truly see, especially without looking deep into the data like Tesla will, but this is pretty remarkable. Tesla's vehicles are already known for incredible safety, but with software updates utilizing the onboard cameras, they are improving it. Millions of people's cars just got safer with a software update related to the seatbelt. This is something that we're seeing more and more of, but it's still crazy each time. Now, in that same update, Tesla is now giving everyone a feature that used to only be available in the enhanced Autopilot and FSD package. Quote, "A chime will play when the traffic light you are waiting for turns green. If you are waiting behind another car, the chime will play once the car advances unless traffic-aware cruise control or auto steer behavior is active. When traffic light and stop sign control is activated, a chime will play when you can confirm to proceed through a green traffic light. To enable, tap Controls, Autopilot, Green Traffic Light Chime. This is a great feature to help you in case of distraction at intersections. Tesla does note that it's only a notification and it's your responsibility to observe the environment, and I have noticed this getting a bit confused with a green light versus green arrow, so definitely observe this carefully, but it's a very helpful feature for everyone. Two other small updates that Tesla didn't put in the release notes include the return of the range at destination prediction, which will show your estimated range on arrival in the main navigation menu, as well as tire configuration, which allows you to reset the learned tire settings after a rotation, swap, or replacement. That'll be available in the service menu. Next up today, some pretty interesting developments for Tesla Solar. Last week we talked about the Lightyear 1, renamed the Lightyear 0. This is one of the world's first truly solar-powered vehicles with a huge emphasis on efficiency. The idea of this car is that you can gain up to 70 kilometers a day from the sun, and with an average commute, you could drive for months without ever needing to plug in. Lightyear says, quote, in climates such as the Netherlands, it would be 2 months, and in Spain or Portugal, as much as 7 months. The speed of this car isn't anything particularly great, but the range will be 388 miles, according to Lightyear, and it will sell for $263,000. They are planning to enter production this year and make 946 units, which is very exciting, but clearly this is an expensive car. It's a proof of concept of what a solar vehicle can be, similar to what Tesla did with the original Roadster. Aptera is another company working on exciting solar vehicles, promising ranges up to 1,000 miles on a charge with help from the sun. Now, this technology, if proven out, could be something that Tesla would go for in the future, but they also may head in a completely different direction. When Tesla announced the Cybertruck, Elon said, will be an option to add solar power that generates 15 miles per day, possibly more. Would love this to be self-powered. Adding fold-out solar wings would generate 30 to 40 miles per day. Average miles per day in US is 30. Of course, this has yet to happen, and based on later comments about solar on vehicles, it seems a bit far-fetched. Elon spoke about this, talking about how you need a lot of surface area, saying, quote, a van, because you've got a big flat area, that's actually where solar could start to make a little more sense because you could have a lot of area. You could have a roof that is solar, and when it's stationary, the awning goes out and provides shade and triples your area. Then you triple your area and you've got a big flat surface. Maybe you could start having charging enough that you get 30 miles a day. This is an exciting idea, but obviously still a ways off since a Tesla van won't be seen for years. But Tesla actually revealed a new concept solar product that could be pretty big for vehicles. It's not quite what you think. At the IDEAN Expo in Germany, Tesla showed off a few products. First was the new 4680 structural pack, which they are building into the Model Y at Giga Texas and more factories in the future. Then Tesla had a solar range extender trailer on display, complete with Starlink from SpaceX. Tesla has tons of experience with solar on homes, but this is the first time we've seen a true mobile solar solution from them. This is a very different concept than we'd expect, but it includes fold-out or slide-out solar wings that in theory could add anywhere in the ballpark of 20 to 30 miles of range to your vehicle per day, possibly more when folded out. Instead of this trailer generating energy and charging your vehicle as you drive, it's likely a stationary solution that you'd open up when parked for camping or other uses, but it's a very compelling option. It's also very large. If you just look at the first photo, it's tough to truly comprehend, but you can see in the other photos just how large it is. It also says Tesla Automation on the side. Apparently, it includes 9 300-watt solar panels and can generate up to 2.7 kilowatts when fully opened. It's very interesting to see from Tesla officially, and it works just as Elon talked about, with one main section and then 2 that fold out or slide out. That triples your solar coverage. Of course, you have to factor in the range loss to tow this mobile solar trailer, and that could cancel itself out depending on how much time you're stationary, charging up your car, and how heavy this trailer is, but that will depend on a lot of factors. For those traveling and staying somewhere for some time, it could mean your road trip includes a bit more charging on the way, but your experience staying somewhere involves lots of free solar energy. Either way, it's very exciting to see. Instead of the Cybertruck including solar as an option, this could be what Tesla offers instead. It's optional and something you can tow for the trips you want it and leave it home for the times you don't. Elon has talked about solar not being super efficient due to surface area on cars, so Tesla building solar into vehicles would mean that they are sometimes making vehicles less efficient if they don't have the time to charge up from the sun. But this could be the best of both worlds. There isn't much information about this trailer. It's a proof of concept that Tesla had on display, but it's extremely interesting to see from them, officially sporting the Tesla logo and Tesla Automation. I would love to see Tesla offer this range extender, but what are are your thoughts? Would you be interested in this if it could add an average of 30 miles to your vehicle per day? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Next up today, Tesla's Plaid Model S has been out for some time, breaking 0 to 60 records and more, but Tesla's quoted top speed of 200 miles per hour actually isn't something you can achieve. Tesla software locks the Model S Plaid to 162 miles per hour or 175 miles per hour with track mode on, and says that the top speed of 200 miles per hour is achievable, quote, when equipped with paid hardware upgrades. Originally, they talked about needing specific wheels, but it appears the real necessary upgrade is their $20,000 carbon ceramic brake kit that they say will be available mid-2022. It's mid-2022 now and still unavailable, so that 200 miles per hour is a bit misleading. Rarely does anyone need to or physically have the distance to go 200 miles per hour, but now it has been proven that the Plaid Model S can achieve this top speed when software unlocked. Nginx is a Quebec company known for selling modules to unlock Tesla's software locked features. This time they unlocked the Plaid's top speed. They tested it at a number of locations, but kept running out of room to safely reach top speed, but managed to achieve it on a 1.8 mile long runway. The vehicle included upgraded brakes and performance tires for safety and their software modification, but other than that, it was a stock Model S Plaid. They managed to get the Plaid up to 216 miles per hour. Here it is driving by at that speed, along with footage of the interior display showing the top speed of 216 miles per hour in red. This is the fastest a Tesla has ever gone from what we can tell, and likely the fastest any production EV has gone, and it proves that while it's software locked, the Plaid can do even more than Tesla says. It can definitely go 200 miles per hour, but the safety wouldn't be there since braking is extremely important, which is why Tesla software locks it. It's amazing to see the engineering at play here, and it will be very interesting to see if Tesla, with that $20,000 brake upgrade, ends up unlocking 200 miles per hour for more customers or not. Next up today, Tesla is finally in the process of truly ramping Giga Texas, and it's because they are making vehicles with 2170 battery cells. 4680 cell Model Ys are what most people are excited about, but Elon recently commented on the delays there. In his interview with Tesla owners of Silicon Valley, Elon said, "We should be outputting a lot more cars out of this factory versus a very puny amount of cars. But we had challenges with the 4680 ramp and with the structural pack ramp, and then ironically the tooling, because we were able to do 2170 cells, but the tooling necessary for making 2170 variant cars was stuck in China, so we had this Shanghai factory in op, we had the tooling to enable this factory stuck in port in China with no one to actually move it, which basically then caused this factory's production ramp to be very tiny. Now this is all going to get fixed real fast, you know, but it requires a lot of attention. This is getting fixed fast as Tesla shipped a number of 2170 Model Ys from Giga Texas at the end of June. Various reports are mentioning different production numbers, but a source speaking with Electric said that Tesla is making up to 5,000 ready-to-deliver vehicles per week from Giga Texas. Another source said Tesla is able to produce 2,000 Model Ys per week now that they've added the long-range Model Y. A subscriber sent me a video walk-around of their new made-in-Texas Model Y and noted the improvements it is bringing, like the cargo cover. It also includes the new AMD chip inside. They looked under the hood, and as expected, it does not appear to have the castings for the structural pack, since this is what Tesla is using for the 4680 Model Y. Essentially, this is the Model Y that Tesla builds in Fremont with 330 miles of range and a couple interior upgrades. The 4680 Model Y is what most are excited about, but right now, to scale Giga Texas and catch up on Model Y demand, this makes more sense. It's very exciting to see, and hopefully soon we will see a lot more people taking delivery of Model Ys out of Giga Texas. I'd love to get mine from there, from that new factory, but right now deliveries are only occurring near Texas, so we'll have to see how that expands. Likely you won't be able to choose which factory you take delivery from, and they'll match interior features across the board. While that factory is scaling up production, Tesla has officially filed the permit for a 500,000 square foot expansion at Giga Texas. The area of expansion is shown in this photo, and it's unclear what the exact purpose is. There's still a ton of unused space inside Giga Texas, but soon enough it will be full and producing at scale. This comes at the same time that Tesla is expanding and upgrading their Giga Shanghai factory to eventually produce 21,000 EVs per week. Over at Giga Berlin, Tesla is doing similar, although that factory is still very much in the early phases of scaling. Tesla is planning to shut down production at Giga Berlin to upgrade that factory and add a shift. Quote, according to BILD information, Tesla therefore wants to interrupt operations for 2 weeks starting next Monday. It is unclear how many of the 4,500 employees will be sent on vacation and how many technicians will remain to convert operations. According to employees, after the break in production, work should be carried out in 3 instead of 2 shifts. In addition, Tesla could then start manufacturing the Drive in a neighboring hall. Previously, Tesla has been importing motors to Giga Berlin from Giga Shanghai. Now they will be making them in-house and will be focused on hiring. Regarding the 4680 Model Y itself, Sandy Andy Munro has begun his teardown of this vehicle, so soon enough we should be getting a lot more technical information from inside the car. Elon has said that the battery pack is next level, and Sandy will surely let us know if he agrees. Last up today, a couple updates from other automakers. VW has unveiled their ID Aero concept vehicle. This would be their first all-electric sedan, and VW says they expect the production version to arrive in 2023. It includes a variety of features, and they have a detailed walkthrough of the concept, which will offer 620 kilometers or 385 miles WLTP range, or roughly 340 miles EPA. That's a great range to see from VW, as they typically offer vehicles under 300 miles of range, and hopefully we'll see this car get past concept stage next year. Hyundai unveiled their new Ioniq 6, taking after the Ioniq 5 but in a sedan form. It includes a lot of the technology shipped in the Ioniq 5 and is expected to cost less than the Ioniq 5 when it ships in 2023. The full launch is coming up on July 14th. Many like this concept, while others think it looks like an elongated VW Beetle or a squished Model 3. Regardless of the design, I really hope they can ship this and make a true compelling competitor to the Model 3. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see the best ways to set up your Model Y and 3 settings on screen, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.